Hey everybody. So as you can see from the title of the video, we're going to put something to the test today, and that's Proven Winners brand. Now it's no secret we like Proven Winners, right?
Yeah, that's just kind of our go-to.
Particularly the Supertunias. Nobody will ever convince me that there's a better petunia out there than the Supertunias because they've just worked so well for us. That's our experience. That doesn't mean that's everybody's experience, and we're not trying to say that. But we love our Supertunias. Now that said, will we try other brands? Yeah, we will. We tried some last year.
And we have some this year too.
A few, but
I'm really impressed with that
well,
Midnight one,
you are
though.
with the Midnight. I'm
There's
not.
some no-name brand petunia called Midnight, and it is just living its best life, and I'm loving it.
It's a beautiful plant. It's being quite vigorous and mounding, and it's doing good things, but you have to deadhead it.
It's not very difficult
I don't like
to
it.
do.
And in the summer, when it's 90 degrees outside and all that, I'm not doing it. So
I do it every day.
anyway, I love the Supertunias. Like they're just my favorite. Again, we'll try others. We don't mind doing that. We want to see what's out there because there could be a better one come along later. But other plants, sometimes they're great, sometimes they're okay, sometimes they're right on par with any non-branded or other branded. We love Monrovia too. Not going to cut them down because they do really good jobs with things as well, particularly shrubs. I love their shrubs. But back to the subject, we're going to test one particular plant that we already have planted that's a non-branded, which is our white salvia. I got my hands on this. Finally, the Unplugged So White. Sorry, I just blocked out Michael. But Unplugged So White, we finally got some. Our local garden center was able to get a hold of some, and apologies, there's a plane going
if you
over
can
right
hear it,
now.
there's a plane and there's cars going by in the
It's
house.
right there. But anyway, we do have our noise cancellation on. Hopefully these microphones work well for that. But we're going to test these out. So I've already planted the non-branded in our pots. So we're going to take you there now and show you what they look like. So here are the salvia we've already planted. You can see they are getting a little overtaken. I'm going to cut some of these back to give them a little bit more room. But they haven't grown a ton. The ones in the back are doing a little bit better. They haven't grown a ton. Of course, that's not to say anything against the salvia. I think that's to do with our temperatures because we've been in the 60s and 70s. It's not been really hot.
Yeah.
But you can see, like, this is pretty on par with where they're at. Now, these have been in the container for about 2 weeks. So they've got a little bit of a head start, but I'm not going to count that against the Proven Winners version because, again, these have not grown a ton yet. Now, let me show you the ones in our urn because I think they look a little bit better. They also will not be strangled out like these will, I don't think. So I think these are a more fair assessment of what this is going to look like. So you can see here, our Proven Winners is a little bit farther behind, but that's okay. It'll catch up. We'll see what it'll do there. But I think these we'll use to compare because they are a little bit closer to what we're looking for. But again, this is the non-branded black pot, and then this is our Unplugged So White. So let's plant this up. I am going to put it in a container with some other plants since these are in with other plants too. That's a fair assessment. So let's get these planted. All right, so here we've got our pot. I know it's smaller than the other, but I think, again, this is a better comparison to the urn because this is about the same volume as the urn. We're using the same soil, same fertilizer, same watering drip system. It's going to get all the same conditions, same light requirements. It's actually going to go right next to where we have the others.
Yep.
And it will be with other plants. So I think this is a pretty fair assessment.
Yeah.
And then we'll see over a month, 2 months, 3 months, where we're at and if this is better. Because you're paying more for these, right? They're a little bit more expensive.
They're like $7 to
compared to $5.
Yeah, depending on where you get them, of course. And
I mean, in our area.
yeah, in our area.
Yeah. So you are paying a premium price for these. I mean, as plants go. So we want to make sure that we're getting what we pay for, right? Now we can tell you, again, from our experience, for some plants, we already know that.
Yeah.
Supertunias being that one plant that we know we're always going to get. So we don't mind to pay the extra. For things like this, sometimes they're better, sometimes they may not be. So we want to just put it to the test and see what it works for you, if it works for you. So let me show you what else we're putting in with this, because again, I want it to be planted with things because it's not gonna, it needs to fight a little bit, just like those are, to make it a little bit fairer a fight. So I have a whirlwind pink scavola. Beautiful, beautiful pink blooms. I love this plant. It gives you a nice trailing habit, and it will actually fill out and just kind of spread out through the entire container. So that's going to be a nice filler accent. I've got for the front as well. Now this is listed as a Supertunia Vista Jazzberry. I'm not convinced this is a jazzberry.
He's skeptical.
I am very skeptical, and this is just me talking right now. I don't believe this is jazzberry. I believe this has been mislabeled, and I believe this could potentially, I'm not saying it is, it could potentially be one of next year's variety, which is the Cool Jazz. Now, I haven't seen it. I don't know what it looks like in person. I've seen pictures, and based on the pictures, this looks to be what the Cool Jazz is going to be like. Again, I don't know. It is listed as jazzberry. It could be jazzberry. Maybe the blooms have faded, but I've compared it to all the others in the flat at the garden center, and it looked nothing like any of them. So I don't know. We're going to plant it. We're going to see what it does. Either way, I love it. It's beautiful. So we're going to plant that in the front so that it trails over. I've got 2 of our Unplugged So White. I also have another of the Kufia Totally Tempted Vivid Violet. I always have to look at the name of that one. It's new for me this year. It's new for anybody this year. The hummingbirds have been loving this plant, but you can see the blooms here, a little bit different than any other Kufia that you've probably ever seen. But they are tubular. You can see on the back here, they do have a tubular shape. So the hummingbirds absolutely adore them. So they're a great plant for that. That's going to go right in the middle. And then for the back, I'm going with another of our unplugged pink salvia. Now these are taking off for us in our hummingbird garden.
Yeah, they're really big now.
Yeah, they've put on at least 5 or 6 extra blooms from the 2 that they had before.
The roots on the bottom of that.
Yeah, they look incredible. So these are going to do really well, I think, in this container. Now these get very big. The unplugged pink will get 14 to 30. It will get every bit of 30 inches in the sun. The Kufia is a little bit smaller. I believe it's 24, let me make sure. 12 to 18 wide, so 8 to 16 tall, so a little bit smaller. So we're stepping down. I'm doing my thriller in the back, like I do with most of my containers if you've ever watched us. So we're gonna get these in. I've got my slow release, and I've already done our biotone, so we're good to go there. We're just gonna pop these in. Loving this container already. I think these colors play so well together, don't you?
I love these little flowers.
Yeah, the whirlwind. And they're already reaching through. Like this is already over on this side, and it's planted over there, and these will continue to kind of reach out as they grow. Now, the scavola will wait for the heat, so give it time. If it's not warm enough, it takes a little bit of heat to get it to go. Same with the salvia. They do need a little bit of warmth with all of the salvias. But again, the purpose of this container is to what? Test out our salvia.
Yep.
Let us know in the comments, what do you think? Do you think they're worth the money? Is it a tried and true for you? Have you found other brands? I mean, we're willing to hear what works well for you so that we can try those out for ourselves, because we all want the absolute best plants we can get.
Yeah.
So let us know how you make that happen for yourselves, and we'd love to share in that wonderment.
Wonderment.
I know. I love that word. Anyway, we're going to get this watered in because we haven't done that yet. We're going to move it into location first, and then I'm going to water it in. But we're putting this again right next to where the other ones are.
Yeah.
They're going to go right on the drip system immediately today, so they get the same water. We'll report back every month and let you know how it's going. So, as always, what do they need to do?
Like, comment, and subscribe.
We always appreciate you. Thanks so much for watching. We hope you enjoy this video. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.